Welcome to a Canon Quick Shot and a quick review of a non-comic book superhero movie. Today I'm looking at Hidden Figures, directed by Theodore Melfi and starring Taraji P. Henson. This movie is about three African American women working for NASA in the 1960s. One is a computer or mathematician, one is an inspiring engineer, and one is an inspiring supervisor. So this is a very important movie. I think we hear that a lot of times, but this is one movie where the story is based on true events, of course, but it's truly events that should have been taught throughout all of history books in the educational system. But that's a story for another time. I just will say that it did hit home pretty hard that this is something that everybody should probably go see and they should have known about. But as far as the actual movie, I thought it was really solid, definitely delivered on the things that you were promised in the trailer. For me, the one overall issue I have with the movie is that it was a little too cinematic, kind of opposite of Fences, where I felt the movie was a direct adaptation and didn't have much cinematic quality to it. I felt this movie had a little too much cinematic quality, where you realize throughout the movie you're following these three women's story, and the climaxes of their journey, you can tell as an audience, you can see what moments are important, but the movie felt the need to really hit you over the head with it. It really was on the nose, like, hey, something big is happening, and I just felt that kind of took me out of it, made it feel less real. But other than that, I still think it was a really good movie. And it's hard when you have a movie like Selma that came out covering the same time period, and you saw how visceral that movie was and how gritty they showed the civil rights era. And this movie really went with an upbeat tone. And I commend them for trying to do something different. But I feel like when you're dealing with this subject matter, you have a duty to really deliver on the truth of the era and the times. And this movie had a few sequences where it tried to do that, but for the most part, I don't think it ever hit home or hit hard enough on, what the times were. And that's fine. They got for real songs, they got jokes, and, it's different. But I think if you look at the two movies, you wouldn't necessarily know they took place at the same time. But there's one particular scene, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Hidden Figures, you'll recognize it, where Taraji P. Henson delivered a powerful performance that for the first time made me feel like, okay, now I'm in here. Now I'm into this movie. It feels a little real, because at first her characters didn't seem like they were a part of the same time period as the rest of the movie. But then that part where you're like, yeah, she understands what's going on. She's in the same spaces now. And that's when the movie really took a jump for me and felt a little stronger. But yeah, overall, really solid movie. Great performances. I think you hear a lot about Janelle Monáe coming into the movie, and she was great. But Taraji P. was the best, in my opinion. I think she should be getting a nomination for Best Actress. She really had a hard character to play, and one that was very smart, whose brain moved really fast rate, and she wasn't always, in tune to her surroundings, but she really marveled and really enjoyed the things outside of her life, work life. She enjoyed the things like her daughters, being in bed in time or looking nice. She enjoyed the intention of a man and, being married and all those good things. When she was doing historical things at work that were groundbreaking, she never fixated on it. That stuff didn't really drive her. It was the stuff outside of her life. And I feel like in a movie, it's easy to go to, hey, I'm just worried about my career, but people aren't always like that. People have duality to them. And I thought Taraji did the hard job of portraying a character like that, where I really believed her. So I thought her performance by itself really took this movie to another level. It's out now, and like I said, I saw it a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks after it came out, and my theater was still packed. So I think you should go see this movie. Everybody is still going to see it. I think it's an important thing to know about. It's an important conversation to start having. The movie based on true stories, really are loose sometimes with the facts. So it makes you want to go research. And I think that's the power of movies. They show you things, for lack of a better word, that were hidden and people wouldn't have known about unless the movie came out. So go see it in theaters, go with a family, start having that discussion. As far as a grade, I'm going to give it an 89 out of 100. It wasn't quite a movie for me, but I do think Taraji P's performance by itself raised it up 4 or 5 points. So if you saw Hidden Figures, go to the comment section, let me know what you thought. Like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you like Canon Quick Shots, stick around for more Canon Quick Shots.